Hello, my dear gardeners. I am among beautiful vegetables in half an acre hard-working vegetable garden of my friend Irene, and we are for a treat today because this garden is, when you walk in, you have a feeling that this is the soul of the gardener is here, and everything is so well kept. There is not a weed around, so it's going to be a marvelous tour. And look, I am among lady chickens here. They're doing their job in the garden as well. Olga, Carmody with you, Master Gardener from Connecticut. You know what? I like how Irene organized the design of the garden. Of course, vegetable garden loves sun. And here she has, it's only half an acre, believe it or not. And this garden is so hardworking. There is tons of produce here. So what Irene did on the perimeter of her garden, she put arborvitaes on. Arborvitaes don't need really any trimming, any care, as long as they have sun. And look at the size of these beautiful trees. Well, garden is well established, 20 years old. And basically, if arborvitaes are well established, they have plenty of sun, occasional watering. Look at this strength, right? And you basically don't need to do anything about it as long as they are on the sun. So this is great privacy. Look at all the perimeter of the garden. Great privacy screen from all the neighbors. The beautiful, very wonderful like a garden shed here, looking very cute, kind of at the end of the property. I like it too. Defining, kind of making the depths there. And there is sun, because vegetable garden loves sun. So all the neighbors are screened out. Sun is here. Everything is growing so well. The shed is there all the way at the end. And you don't feel that it is just half an acre of property. So let's go and see what's going on here. Plenty of good stuff, by the way. So we have beans here. Irene is telling me that dill is just self-seeding itself. Look at this beautiful dill, the mighty plant, right? Some gardeners are not really successful with dill. And here dill is growing in abundance. The cabbage, tomatoes. Tomatoes are, Irene was telling me that they're tomatoes for the stew. So she has the whole row of tomatoes here. And did you notice not a single weed here? Well, small weeds here and there. This is the labor of love. You can see the soul of the gardener is here. Oh, basil, very plentiful. A nice sizable lot of basils, and tomatoes are different there. Did you notice how nicely the vegetable beds are raised here? And it is just to show you that if you want a vegetable garden, it doesn't have to be super expensive. You don't have to buy these raised beds for hundreds of dollars. This is very old European way of doing things. Like Ukrainians do it, Polish people do it. Irene is Polish. And what you do, you just raise a little bit of soil, plant your produce, and then you have rows where you walk between. And it really doesn't cost you anything. You don't need to invest into raised beds. Look at these lemons here. Oh, Irene told me that she is taking these lemons into the house, overwinters them in the house. Look at that lemon, oh my. I want to do lemons like that, but I need a very sunny windowsill, and I don't have it in the house. This is so good. I'm jealous for all this stuff going on. All right, so they have chickens here. There are 11 chickens, very happy. They kind of walk around between all the vegetable beds. And of course, all the vegetable beds are screened. Chicken wire for rabbits, raccoons. Good protection, solid protection. And looks like chickens are doing their job as well. Let's go and see what's happening here. So this is vegetable plot number 2, let's call it. Mint. I love mint. Wonderful. Sage here is growing. Look at the size of this healthy dill. I love dill. I'm going to ask Irene to give me some seeds because this dill is nice and happy. 2 rows of tomatoes, lettuce in between, and I think those are carrots growing. Oh, I see beets starting to grow. Here is garlic, almost ready to be harvested. Although we had so much heat recently, Irene was telling me that the garden really suffered for it. All right, onions. Oh, sorrel. I love sorrel. I just planted, by the way, sorrel in my garden. It is such a good plant. Perennial. Oh, here is a bird. Birds are doing a lot of damage here in this garden. So sorrel is a wonderful plant to add to salads because it has a sour taste. Old-fashioned garden plant. I don't see a lot of gardeners growing it. And look at this nice, sizable lot of it. Love it. I don't know what that is. If you can help me out to identify this. This is some sort of a herb which people add to fish, but I'm not sure what it is. So if anybody of you know what it is, it would be very helpful. Some more cabbage, lovely, dill, and look at the size of blackberries here. Irene planted them on the perimeter of the garden, which is kind of a great idea because it's masking in a way the somewhat unattractive wires. Irene told me that and I'm going to find the variety of these particular blackberries. Irene told me that she planted blackberries originally many years ago in the garden, and they were very suckering variety. And then she switched to this variety, and they are staying very put together, no suckering habits. So I want to find out what blackberry is this, because I want to have the same one in my garden. I planted one in the front. It is suckering. Even being a young plant, it already sends shoots all over the place. And look at all the berries here. This is going to be a great harvest. And usually birds are do not favor blackberries. They don't eat them. Maybe they're too big, or maybe they're black. I don't know. All right, so let's get out of this vegetable garden because there's so much to see. Look how Irene is collecting rainwater into these big barrels. She doesn't have irrigation in the garden, so she has to do all irrigation by herself, which is kind of time consuming, you know? So all this water really helps. I'm not sure how she does the buckets. I don't know what she does with it. Maybe she just scoops it over and puts in another bucket. But that's a good solution. Peaches, how plentiful they are. Look at this, beautiful. And here is a little lady, a 14-year-old chicken, which is living here in this coop. It's old life. Look at her there. Hello. She's being taken care after. I must say, well, in her old age. Good, let's scoop here near this chicken coop. I can't have enough of these berries. Look how plentiful they are. This is going to be one big harvest. And clearly Irene knows how to cut and trim blackberry to keep it intact. Right? Wow. She really trimmed this blackberry. All right, let's look at these potatoes. Quite a nice size of potato patch. And this is a very traditional way of growing potatoes. What we do in Europe, in Ukraine, in Eastern Europe, when potatoes are this tall, the gardeners do the hilling. They put all the soil around the roots. This way potatoes create more of potato roots. So potatoes for us, right? Let's go here. Irene just planted beets here. She said to me that she raised them from seeds. Very nice, very nice. She's going to have nice sizable beets. Another patch of potatoes. Irene collects all the potato beetles herself, and you see potatoes are almost ready to be harvested there, which is nice because Irene is going to have a nice early crop of potatoes. But here, look at this here. This is like a little paradise here. Black currants. They didn't live well through the heat, I can see it. And all this patch is well protected here. Look at the raspberries here, how plentiful they are. Looks like there are two different varieties, red and white. Or maybe white is not ripe yet. Maybe it is red, but it's not. It's a later ripening variety. Lovely, and birds don't have access to it, so it's a good protection here. Nice system. Irene has a nice system. So look at this raised vegetable bed. You see how it's done? No need to buy any expensive equipment. You just raise it up a little bit, and what gardeners do, when they weed, they throw all the stuff into the rows where they walk, and it kind of decomposes. It doesn't really look very well, but it does the job. And by the way, Irene does all the composting herself. She does it behind the shed there, and then returns all the goodness back into the garden. And here is a middle section here, protected again from all the rodents. And this looks like a blueberry patch here. Look how plentiful they are. Irene does acidify the soil. Ooh, these guys suffered through the heat. They didn't like it, but this guy looks so good. Look, a little bit chlorotic. I think that the soil pH is still not good for blueberries. Blueberries do really love acidic soil, around 4.5, which is acidic. So our Connecticut soil is acidic, but not as bad. Well, not as bad, I can't say as bad, as strongly acidic. So gardeners do need to acidify the soil. But the harvest, I love the harvest here. And of course, birds are going to go for these beautiful berries, so bushes need to be protected. Let us go to the front of the house. And Irene has a very typical European flower bed there. I love it because all the flowers are together with berry bushes, alpine strawberries and red currants, which is quite delightful. I like that combination where decorative stuff is growing together with vegetable garden, you know. So again, here peaches are looking so good, lived through the heat. The apple tree is not really struggling here. Well, you know what, with apples there are good seasons and not good season, so probably this is not the best season. Look at the red currants. Oh, I love how plentiful they are. I have to try one. So good, brings me back into my childhood. Alpine strawberries. Ooh, I have to have another one too. So good. And these are white currants. They did struggle through the heat a little bit. Here you go. A nice harvest as well. And gooseberries. Where are they? Oh, Irene probably picked them today. Yeah, but they were nice and fat yesterday. I was here in this garden yesterday. So let's see. Oh, what is this? It looks like, oh, black currants. Yeah. Almost finished their harvest, you see, right here. All right, good. Nice. So this is the front of the garden. Very colorful, very bright. And I like how Irene is solving the problem here of drainage and weeds. You see, all her pots are out here on the stones. I suspect there is a weed fabric under the stones. It's a good maintenance trick because a lot of things can just go through the stones. All the soil, all the dirt goes through the stones, and it is nice looking. And Irene has plenty of pots here. I love it here. Look at all this. She puts some of the pots inside the garage. Like for example, this goes probably in the garage. Probably these guys are overwintering outside. Yeah, the currants, I'm not sure why they are in the pot yet. Oh, and strawberries here. Look at this. Beautiful. Basil, blueberries, and what is this? This is pink. Oh, it's in Polish. Pink Porszeczka, I think. It's a pink currant. And this one is red currant. And look how many alpine strawberries are there. Alpine strawberries love sun. I'm trying to introduce them in the garden, in my garden. And I planted them at the back in the raised bed, and they're doing quite well. Also, birds were after them this season. Here, birds are not really eating the berries. Look at all the lilies, all the sun-loving perennials here. Quite a nice, colorful addition to the garden. I love it. It's beautiful. Oh, bright colors, right? And look at the lilies here. I don't want to put my nose inside the lilies because the pollen will get on my nose. Look at this. And it's hard to get rid of, especially on clothes. So thank you, lilies. You're beautiful, but I'm not touching you guys. What a delightful tour. As you can see, you don't need a lot of land to have highly productive and at the same time ornamental garden. On a budget, really. So we thank Irene for letting us film her garden, and a beautiful inspiration, right? All right, my dear gardeners, we will see you in our next video. Happy gardening!